virtues, the benefits of learning the Quran, the respect and adab that we should have towards the Holy Quran. Upon the completion of Sheikh's program, then we will have our students. First we will start with the 7 students that will recite the final verses of Surah Al-Baqarah and the final verses of Surah Al-Imran, upon where they have reached in their memorization of the Holy Quran. As I mentioned, these children are only but from 7 to the ages of 11, 12 years old. Once they have completed, then we will have our Hafiz Rahman that will recite the final verses of 30 of Juz of the Quran and the beginning of the Surah Al-Baqarah, and then he will complete the recitation of the Quran and the memorization of the Holy Quran, upon which the will conclude the program with dua for the students, with advice towards them and their parents and for each and every one of us. Upon the completion of the program, that should take us up to around Isha time, and then inshallah food will be served after the Isha prayers, inshallah. We humbly request and kindly request each and every one of you to remain, listen to the whole of the program, show your encouragement to the children. May it become a means of influence in us to also encourage our children or our relations or whoever it may be, to also venture into such subjects or such topics in relation to memorization of the Quran. So without further ado, we would like to call our Imam, Hazrat Mufti Yaqub, inshallah, to come and deliver some important words of wisdom in relation to this, inshallah. Jazakumullah.
نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم.
Whoever's car is RFC 07, whoever's car belongs to is blocking the other cars in the car park, so please remove that car as soon as possible. Jazakumullah.
My dear respected brothers, elders, and my mothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah, to be here amongst you in this special gathering with the children of completion of the Holy Quran and other recitation of the Holy Quran. It is very, very precious and very blessed majlis. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept everyone's effort in this madrasa, in this masjid, from top to bottom, teachers, male and female, brothers and sisters. Because the reality is, this is something that we will be leaving behind. Nobody amongst us will live forever. But it is what we leave behind. Many of you may be aware, when this place
registration plate GJ58ZSF, that's a Citroen, and a Renault car RF07HFN. Jazakumullah.
As we all know, when we started here in Abu Bakr Masjid, get up to here, we will go up to here. But mashallah, there's enough space for improvement. And regular basis, people are doing, brothers and sisters are doing. And this is what we will leave behind. Everything else, whatever one possesses, whatever one has, one will lose touch with it one day. Once we close our eyes, we leave our books, we leave our knowledge, we leave our bank balance, everything. To this extent, that one day a person died. So, before his death, he wrote a small letter and gave it to his son, who said, when I die, you open this letter. The day came, they washed the body and they put the coffin on and about to take him out of the house for the funeral prayers. So his son read this piece of paper. In this piece of paper it was written, "Oh my son, I have this old special socks of mine. Please, can you give them with me? Can you give them with me?" So he presented this to the Imam Sahib. Imam Sahib said, "That's not possible. Why does he want to take his own socks? We can't do that." So the masla went to the ulama of the time, few other ulamas. They said, this is the request he made before his death. They all said, no, he can't take his own socks. It's an old socks. But in reality, he was giving a message to his son. He was giving a message to his son. And what was the message? My son, if I cannot take the old socks, you will take nothing. So he was buried without his own socks. This is reality. But what we leave behind, goodness, it will remain forever. The teachers that taught us, their teachers that taught them, and their teachers or the teachers taught them, that is continuously going on. And when we teach the young ones, and they will go and teach others, this will remain, inshallah. Likewise, this masjid, those brothers and sisters who put the effort in first, their life or their, it doesn't matter, they're still getting the reward. Until Qiyamah they will get it. So, it is important that our legacy be of this nature. Leaving flats for the children, leaving properties for the children, leaving bank balance for the children, that's not going to do any good to them. Because why? They will use it and abuse it. But leave them something that they will benefit. And you will benefit in the hereafter. This Quran, my brothers, is such a book. This is a living miracle. One of the greatest living miracle of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But today, very few of us have time for the Quran. Occasionally we'll take out the Quran. Sometime we'll be free away from the mobile. You know, at home, sometimes I tend to put the Wi-Fi off. There's no Wi-Fi, so you have to sit down to read. Because nowadays, you know, brothers tend to come to those masjids where they find there's good Wi-Fi. So when they finish few rakats, Tarawih, they go at the back, play with their mobile. Or during Salah, they play with their mobile. When we should be listening to the Quran. Many of you know this. Even in Southampton, we had it in the postmark. We could not listen to the Quran because we had no Hafiz. But as time went, Alhamdulillah, we managed to get Hafiz. Nowadays, in your masjid, you have enough Hafiz, but there's no attraction to the listening. Everybody is somewhere else. So the poet says, I want to read this to you. फुर्सत अगर मिले तो पढ़ना मुझे जरूर. If you have time, please read me. फुर्सत अगर मिले पढ़ना मुझे जरूर. मैं नायाब उलझनों की मुकम्मल किताब. This is the kitab, the holy book. This is why. वो ज़माने में मुअज़्ज़ज़ थे मुसलमान होकर. वो ज़माने में मुअज़्ज़ज़ थे मुसलमान होके और हम खिवार बने तारीख़ कुरान को. We've lost touch with the Quran. And the Shaykh al-Hikm Mahmud al-Hasan rahmatullah alayhi, when he was in Malta jail with Sayyid Hussain Ahmad Madin rahmatullah alayhi, a quite long time. So when he came back, the ulama sat with him and they asked him that advices, because they'd come after a long time. So Shaykh said, I have observed in the prison two things. If we uphold these two things, then inshallah, we will raise it. Today we are going downhill because why? We've abandoned these two things. Number one, we've abandoned the Quran. We've lost touch with the Quran. And number two, आपस की झगड़े, fighting amongst each other. Fighting amongst each other. These are, the Pakistanis, these are the Bengalis, these are the Gujaratis, these are the these. And the worst thing, if something was to happen here, whose fault is it? One group of people will blame the other group of people. There's nobody in the middle thinking, listen, let's get to the root of the problem and solve this problem. It doesn't matter who is it from. And this is the same complaint we have with the Western people. Islamophobia, this anything happens to the Muslims. In fact, it's happening in our own homes. So why blame pointing fingers at others? They are burning the Quran. The non-Muslims are burning the Quran, and we Muslims are abandoning the Quran. What's the difference? MashaAllah, everybody has Quran at home. How many of us read or recite? No time. We don't have time. We have time for everything. Once upon a time, I mentioned this before as well, from where? Back home, from every house, the first thing in the morning you would hear is the recitation of the Holy Quran. And majority of the elders, they never wore glasses. But mashallah, even to this day, those elders that we have seen, mashallah, they can still recite the Quran. Today, we have Quran in every form. On the mobile, iPod, you name it, we got it. But we have no time to recite the Quran. When in fact, Shafi Sahib Rahmatullah alayhi said that Quran khatam karna maqsood nahi hai. To complete the Quran of recitation, that is not the goal. Maqsood Quran pe marna maqsood hai. That the goal is to live your life and live your life and die while reciting the Quran, while the Quran is in your heart. Many, I know this because we teach the children. We tell the children, did you sit down to read at home? No. Why? My mother's very busy. Why? What she does? Is she working? No, she has to watch her favorite programs. She's watching B for You. She watches all the lollipops and Bollywood, whatever you name it. She's busy. So we encourage the children, you tell your parents to sit down with them, and then we try to phone them or try to send a letter, please sit with them for a couple of minutes, or 10-15 minutes every day so they know. But the reality is they don't know anything. So how can they sit with the children? I had this complaint, this mother rang me and she said, Mufti Sahib, can you tell the children not to point fingers? And I said, what do you mean? She turned and said, when they come home, they ask us something, we don't know how to explain it to them. In reality, she doesn't even know, let alone explaining it. So they point fingers, oh, you don't know anything. You didn't go to the madrasa. You didn't learn from the Imam Sahib. However, they are telling the truth. So there is no connection between us and them. Now, when we start reciting the Quran, even if it's few verses, my son, my daughter will see. And experience, you see in your own house. You sit down with the Quran, the young ones, even whatever book they have, they'll open it and come and sit next to Allah, or next to Allah, and they will watch what they're doing. Oh, she's pointing fingers here, this is how they learn. And this is how they pick up. And if you're, mashallah, on your iPod, and on your laptop, and on your mobile, and doing all this, what's they going to learn? This is why somebody says very nicely, Quran ghar mein hai magar hum padhte nahi, zara bhi Allah ka khauf hum karte nahi. We have Quran in our homes, but we do not recite. We have no fear of Allah. Zalzalon ke jhatko se uth jate hain fauran, sunkar azan kabhi hum uthte nahi. Little bit of noise, thunder, wind, we wake up, but we don't wake up to the azan. हमें आती है मुसीबत खुदा पतो खुदा याद आते हैं वरना तो कभी सर सजदे में रखते नहीं. When we are in trouble, Imam Sahib, I need your special du'as. Why? Oh, I'm going through great difficulty, the taxman's after me, the VAT have catch up with me, and I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to save myself. Inshallah, if everything goes according to plan, I'm thinking of going for Umrah, I'm thinking of donating something to the masjid. That's the way Allah comes in. कानों में आजान भी की भला कैसे आए आवाज बंद तो कभी टीवी करते नहीं. Instead of TV should be mobile. That has to be on. You come into the masjid, it's written on the sign, on the main entrance, please have your mobile written. It says here as well, it's showing it there as well. Have your mobile written. For some brothers, mashallah, not me. You see how connection is? We've connected ourselves to the Wi-Fi, not Allah. सूरज से तो इंसान नजर आते हैं हम. We are human in figure, in face we are human. मगर सीरत में मुसलमान हम लगते नहीं. We don't look like Muslims. No Quran recitation, no zikr. Once somebody came to Haji Abdullah Muhajir Bakr Rahmatullah and he said, Hazrat,
You know, I try to recite the Quran, I read, I do the tasbihat, I do zikr, but I do not get that taste, that feeling. So that's Rahmatullah alayhi replied, what are you? Are you Abdul Lutf or Abdul Latif? Very interesting. Abdul Lutf, are you the servant of lazzat and taste, or are you Abdul Latif? Today we pray salah, we gain nothing. We pray do zikr, we feel nothing. We do all sorts of good acts, we feel nothing. How can we? Our hearts, our minds completely in different places. We want our good for our children. But it's no use only wishing good for our children. You have to put it into practice for them to see what is good, what is bad. You know, the children never lies. This is fitrah. A children cannot lie. But they are taught how to lie. They don't know how to lie. Was my husband went to visit him, and one of his grandchild said, Abba did this today. So he called his son-in-law and he said, did you do this? He said, no. He said, I don't believe the children. They're innocent. They don't know how to lie. You can't, because you've been taught how to lie. This is this thing that the children are, mashallah, they're masoom. Their hearts are clean. They don't know how to lie, they don't know how to deceive, they don't know how to do wrong things. So teach them good. Teach them to be good. Every day make a habit. Just don't tell them to sit down to read, you sit with them. Your wife sit with, their mother should sit with them. I have to make the tea. No, I have to do this. I have to make the breakfast. No. Leave everything aside. Give them good upbringing. After they come to the masjid, you see, everybody, majority of them, if you see the register of the hazari, attendance and their attendance, non-attendance, you will see majority of the time in the masjid, in the maktab, in the madrasa, if a child doesn't come, it doesn't matter, you go to work. So if you're strict and hard on them, then they come back and say, no, Monsad, you're too strict, you know, you shouldn't be like this at this time and era in the Western country. And like in school, if you don't know one day, school happens. You'll get a letter. Or you'll have to give them a good reason. But in the madrasa, the same parents will come and say, oh, you shouldn't be too strict. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But they never miss their school. So when the ustaz, when the teachers are trying to implement something for the betterment of the child, oh, Mawsam, you shouldn't be too strict. You should be a bit lenient towards them. You know, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You know, they go to school all day and then they come back to you and they're all, you know. This is where the children pick up things. No, you're going to the madrasa, you're going to the maktab, you are learning this because it's for your better. Because today you won't go, you won't learn. Tomorrow what will happen? You're left from these kinds of things. And wallahi lazim, as I've seen in this small life, those parents who are not helpful towards the children regarding these kind of matters, these are the same parents who are crying and shedding tears because they've lost the control of their children. Wallahi, as I'm saying this in the masjid, you don't have to be harsh, you don't have to be strict, with loving, with caring, bring them. Even if you have to sit for a while with them, sit with them. Show them love, show them the reason why you have been brought here. We had this geography teacher in our school when we were young. He was an ex-army officer, Mr. Claude. And he was huge, 6'4", 4'5", huge tall guy. And he used to sit, and he had the board duster here, right in front of him. And if anybody is looking here and there, he would throw the board duster right on his head. Obviously you can't do that now. But he used to throw it around the head. And when he used to miss, he said, I meant to miss, but I want your attention. And this is how they were. And then whenever I or my brother, we did something, because out of all the entire school, there were only 2 Asian, me and my brother. So he used to say, come in. So I used to walk to him, or my brother used to go, have you been to the mosque? No. You need to go to the mosque. This is how it is. So I told him, listen, I want to go on Fridays, but I can't go on Fridays because, you know, the classes. He goes, no, from next week you go every Friday. And then I went, mashallah. I used to go every Friday, and after school, after Jummah, I used to go to the library. So even the other children, Christians, others, boy, did you go to church on Sunday? He goes, no, you need to go to church on Sunday. Because why? He himself says the attitudes, akhlaq, adab, that is taught in the church and in the mosque. It's not taught in school. In school they teach you how to question your parents. But in the madrasa, in the school, in the churches, they will teach you how to respect your parents. You see the difference? But we have to send them to school. Likewise, we have to send them to the madrasas. Tell them, sit with them, what have you learned? How to do your wudu? How do you do this? How do you learn from them. You know, sometimes encourage the children, oh mashallah, you know your wudu. Very good. I'll give you a final. That encourages them. This is what is happening here. Will encourage the children. But we have to keep that up. If the masjid was supposed to give this every week, there won't be any here. Financially, everything gone. So you do it for your own pocket from our home. Teach them. Give them this. Because why? Once Hazrat Mufti Mahmood Sahib rahmatullah alayhi, Deobandi Mufti Sahib, Abu Hassan Ali Nadi rahmatullah alayhi walked into the haram. He walked into the haram. And he saw in one corner the children are learning, memorizing the Quran. So he asked, what's happening here? So the person was with him, he told him in Arabic, Yahfadul Quran. They are memorizing the Quran. So in return, what Hazrat said is, Wal Quranu Yahfadhu. Quran is protecting them, preserving them. This is why in a hadith the Prophet ﷺ was mentioned, if you wrap the Quran in a skin and then you throw that into the fire, it will not burn. Meaning ulama have mentioned in Tirmidhi, this hadith is mentioned, the ulama have mentioned, when a person memorizes the Quran in the heart, he can never be burned. Meaning he can never go to Jahannam. You and I, the elders, it's our responsibility to learn something. Learn from the Quran. Imam Sabs are here. What you've learned before, many mistakes. You need to come to the Imam Sab, tell him, give me 5 minutes of your time. Listen to my surah. Those who are expert in the field of tajweed, go to them, ask them. Learn something. Every day, in a hadith, it is mentioned, Man qara'a 50 ayah fi laylati wa nahar. A person who recites 50 verses of the Quran. How many verses? 50. Lam yuktab min al-ghafilin. He will not be written from those who are ghafil. Wa man qara'a 100 ayah. And a person who recites 100 ayah, yuktab min good one from the beloved of Allah. And وَمَنْ يَقْرَأْ 200 ayat, 200 ayat, he will be written from the pious of the time. Surah Yasin has, I think so, 87 or 89. Ar-Rahman has 79. Waqiyah something like this. Tabarak al-Lazi 30. Alif Lam Sajda 30. Now if you add up this, a regular basis, we should, in the morning, Surah Yasin and Surah Rahman, one should recite that definitely in the morning. And in the evening, Alif Lam Sajda, Tabarak al-Lazi, Ida Waqiyah, and La Tsul Yawm al-Qiyamah. All only three. Alif Lam Sajda, Tabarak al-Lazi, Alif and Surah Waqiyah. Great benefit, inshallah. You can talk to the Imam, so will tell you some of the time. But what I would like to remind you, if you read these on a regular basis, you have read more than 200 ayats. But today, to read Surah Yasin, it takes a long time because we're not punctual. Recite it every day, eventually it will become very easy for you. Recite it, blow on yourself, blow on. You know, people tend to come to me, just last week, rang me at about 11:30. He said, Mufti Sahib, you need to get to my house. I said, why? He said, I can hear some things. I said, it's 11:30, you're going to hear something. Go to sleep. He goes, no, Mufti Sahib, please come down. So I have to go. So this is, you're going to hear all this, you're going to see all this. Wallahi azim. From morning till evening, it's all about Bollywood and Lollywood and Hollywood. You know what's that you're going to get? There's no Quran, there's no recitation. And you want us to be, mashallah, perfect? Our children to be perfect? You get this every, a week passes by. And you get a mother calling my son always wakes up, feeling, he's afraid. And sometimes you can hear in the back the music of Bollywood. So what can you tell them? There's no recitation in the house. There is no understanding of the Quran in the house. There is no majlis of zikr, remembrance of Allah. They're doing homework, school homework, madrasa homework, put it aside. I think so you get this as well? Madrasa, put it aside. Nobody's bothered. So, today, my brothers and sisters, I urge you, take time out. Take time out to read the Quran, to understand the Quran. If you don't know how to read, go to someone, ask them, please teach me a verse. Read, recite. And inshallah, just recently somebody sent me WhatsApp, many of you may have seen, in the Haram. In the Haram, it's like this, with the Quran. Finish. Imagine, what kind of a mouth is this? How will our death come? Imagine, just think. Nobody knows if they will come back here tomorrow. Nobody knows. How will our death be? Somebody asked this wise person, Huzur, Malsa, tell me which day is the best day to start worshipping Allah? Which day is the best day to start worshipping Allah? He said, the day before you die. The day before you die. He said, but I don't know when I'm going to die. He said, we'll start then, tomorrow will be the last day. So we have to continue. You do it. And my father, Allah shower him with mercy, used to grab me and my brother, small brother, to the masjid in Fajr. And at the time, we used to go, and my duty was to give azan, his duty was to go wake the Imam Sabah. So sometimes the Imam Sabah would send him back, tell your dad to lead the prayers, I'm coming with him. So this was me, my dad, and my brother. And I used to think to myself, my father is the cruelest father in Portsmouth. Nobody else's sons in the madrasa, the masjid. And when he used to tell others, oh, I have to come for Fajr. Oh, your father's a wicked guy. He's so mean. But now I understand. Now I understand. And when I do the same to my children, they say, but I know you're forcing us. And I turn and say, a day will come when you will thank me. Wallahi lazim, whenever I remember this, tears fall. And I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah. He's put a lot of effort behind us. Our parents, elders, responsible person, you and I are responsible for our children. Teach them. MashaAllah, the Imams are here, the Hufaz, the Qurra, the Ulama are here to guide them. Bring them regular basis, be with them, what they've learned, ask, and inshallah, you and I benefit. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Subhanallah bihamdi, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh.
Jazakumullah khair. Mufti Sir, mashallah, some inspirational, heart-taking words. May Allah give us all the ability to understand these words, bring them into our lives, inshallah. Also give us all the ability to become or get closer to the Quran. We know the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Al-Quran hujjatun laka aw alayka, that the Quran on the day of resurrection, can you imagine this very Quran, which is the book of solution, the book of peace, the book of guidance for us, can turn around on Yawm al-Qiyamah and become a means or a point against us if we don't have this connection with the Quran. So may Allah give us all the ability to become closer to the Quran, become like the walking broken Quran. As Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha explained the characteristics of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that this is exactly what he was. He was a walking, talking Quran. Just one announcement, alhamdulillah, as you know, this masjid, we always encourage everybody to come, the young and the old, the children. So just an announcement from the sisters. Alhamdulillah, we have many of the men and children that are sat here. We find nobody that is talking. Alhamdulillah, everybody is listening and concentrating. We have young boys here. Similarly, we have young girls upstairs and we have the sisters upstairs. Many sisters that have come, alhamdulillah, have come with the intention of listening, intention of gaining the mercy and rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yet we are getting the notices that there's too much noise upstairs in the women's section, and the other women cannot listen or cannot hear. So we humbly request that please, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please do remain quiet. Please have this consideration for each other. We have to have a bit of give and take when we encourage everybody to come. There has to be that common sense and give and take, that we understand that people are coming to listen, to learn, to understand, to support and encourage. However, when they come and they can't hear anything but shouting and screaming, then it becomes very discouraging. So we humbly request that sisters take control. We ask that you listen to the other sisters, try to remain quiet. We only have around an hour or so of the program remaining. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant us all barakah and afiyah from such action. Without further ado, I will move it on to my teacher, inshallah, and he will come through the program. And then we will have the recitation of the Quran for our students.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا ماكثين فيه أبدا وينذر الذين قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا लाम रा किताबुन उहकिमत आयातुहु सुम्मा फुस्सिलत मिन लदुन हकीमिन खबीर अल्ला तअबुदू इल्लल्लाह इन्ननी लकुम मिन्हु नज़ीरुन व बशीर व अन इस्तगफिरू रब्बकुम सुम्मा तूबू इलैहि युमत्तिउकुम मताअन हसनन इला अजलिन मुसम्मा व यु'ति कुल्ला ज़ी फ़ज़लिन फ़ज़लहु व इन तवल्लौ फ़इन्नी अख़ाफ़ु अलैकुम अज़ाब यौमिन कबीर इलल्लाहि मर्जिउकुम व हुवा अला कुल्लि शैइन क़दीर। व क़ाल तआला अल्लाहु नज़्ज़ल अहसनल हदीस किताबन मुतशाबिहन मसानी तक़शइर्रु मिन्हु जुलूदुल लज़ीना यख़शौना रब्बहुम थुम्मा तलीनु जुलूदुहुम व क़ुलूबुहुम इला ज़िक्रिल्लाह ज़ालिका हुदल्लाहि यहदी बिही मन यशा व मन युज़लिलिल्लाहु फमा लहु मिन हाद। सदक़ल्लाहु मौलाना अज़ीम व सदक़ रसूलुहुन नबियुल करीम व नहनु अला मा क़ाल रब्बुना व ख़ालिक़ुना व राज़िक़ुना मिनश शाहिदीन वश्शाकिरीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। इन्नल्लाहा व मलाइकतहु युस्सल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लू अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व अला आलि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद कमा सल्लैता अला सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम व अला आलि सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व अला आलि सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद कमा बारकता अला सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम व अला आलि सय्यिदिना इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। Respected elders, brothers, friends, young ones, sisters, ladies, inshallah talk will be in English. I'll just read a few couplets in Urdu. It's regarding Khatm Quran Sharif. They are nice couplets. Those who understand Urdu will enjoy them inshallah. The poet says, ये कलाम खुदा जिसके सीने में है। माशाअल्लाह, one of your young ones is becoming Hafiz. कौन हाफिज हो रहे हैं मौलाना साहब? हाथ खड़ा करो। माशाअल्लाह, ये बच्चे हिफ्ज़ कर रहा है। इसको तो हम देखते रहते हैं, इसका मुंह तो देखा हुआ है। माशाअल्लाह, मुबारक भाई। ये कलाम खुदा जिसके सीने में है मुअत्तर मज़ा उसके जीने में। मुअत्तर यानी खुशबूदार, जिसके सीने में कुरान होगा मुअत्तर होगा, मजा उसके जीने में है। रब ने नाजिल किया लैलतुल क़द्र में, रब ने नाजिल किया लैलतुल क़द्र में, तोहफ़े मुबारक इस महीने में। हादिये खल्क़ है मरहमे क़ल्ब है। कुरान शरीफ क्या है? हादिये खल्क़ है, मरहमे क़ल्ब है। जज़्ब की खासियत इस नगीने में, जज़्ब पुलिंग पावर, जज़्ब की खासियत इस नगीने में है। पढ़ता जा चढ़ता जा, ये निदा आएगी। पढ़ता जा चढ़ता जा, ये निदा आएगी। ये तरक्की तिलावत के जीने में है, ये तरक्की तिलावत के जीने में है। मैदान हशर में हिसाब किताब कंप्लीट हो गया, फिर कहा जाए इक़रा वरतक़ी वरत्तिल कमा कुन्त तुरत्तिलु फ़ी दुनिया फ़इन्न मंज़िलतका इंद आख़िर आयतिन तक़रअूहा। इसको कहा पढ़ता जा चढ़ता जा, ये निदा आएगी। ये तरक्की तिलावत की सीने में है। फिक्र फर्दा करो, मौजे गम भूल जाओ। आखिरत की फिक्र करो, गम की मौजों को भूल जाओ। फिक्र फर्दा करो, मौजे गम भूल जाओ। हर बला से नजात इस सफीने में है, हर मुसीबत और बला से नजात इस सफीने में है। कुरान शरीफ एक कश्ती है जो नजात देती है, मौजों से, बलाओं से, स्टॉर्म्स से हिफाजत करती है। मारिफत के जवाहिर सदा लूट लो, मारिफत इलाहिया के जवाहिर सदा लूट लो, दोनों आलम की खैर इस खजीने में है। लाए दिल की दवा जिब्रील आ गए। कुरान कौन लाया? जिब्रील अमीन अलैहिस्सलाम। लाए दिल की दवा जिब्रील आ गए। सुबह खुर्शीद ज़ाहिर मदीने में। सुबह खुर्शीद, सुबह होती है, सूरज निकलता है, जिब्रील के आने से रोशनी फैलती है, जिस तरह सुबह निकलने से रोशनी फैलती है। तो ये सुबह खुर्शीद ज़ाहिर मदीने में है। जगमगाता है दिल मेरा कुरान से, जगमगाता है दिल मेरा कुरान से। रोशनी एक ऐसी मेरे सीने में, मैं जब कुरान पढ़ता हूँ मेरा दिल जगमगा उठता है। रोशनी एक ऐसी मेरे सीने में है। ये कलाम खुदा जिसके सीने में है मुअत्तर मज़ा उसके जीने में। Respected elders, brothers, friends, this jalsa is about Quran Sharif. MashaAllah, one youngster is completing his hifz. He's worked so hard for so many years. Slowly but surely, he is completing his hifz. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve the Quran in his heart for as long as he lives. May Allah reward him for every minute and every second he spent in learning the Quran. May Allah reward his parents, his grandparents, his family members, and all those connected to him. May Allah reward his teachers, all those who helped him, supported him. May Allah reward the committee members of this masjid and the community as a whole. May Allah make his hifz a source of blessing for all of us. MashaAllah, there will be many others completing their parts which they have memorized. That is good as well. It is a form of encouragement for the young ones so that they can move forward and inshallah memorize the whole Quran. May Allah make their hifz easy for them. Place the Quran in their hearts and may Allah help them to keep going. Respected elders, brothers, friends, ladies, Quran is Quran. What can we say about Quran? Quran speaks of itself. You ask Quran, Quran will tell you, and Quran will tell you what is Quran. In some places, Quran will say, وَإِنَّهُ لَتَنزِيلُ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Quran is the revelation of Rabbul Alameen. It's not man-made book, as some people would have you believe, would try to impose their understanding on you. No. It's the Rabbul Alameen's revelation. وَإِنَّهُ لَتَنزِيلُ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينَ. Ruh al-Amin brought it down upon you, my beloved Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. عَلَىٰ قَلْبِكَ لِتَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُنذِرِينَ. He brought it down on your heart so that you may be from among the munzirin, the warners. بِلِسَانٍ عَرَبِيٍّ مُبِينٍ. In the Arabic language, which is very clear-cut, self-explanatory. وَإِنَّهُ لَفِي زُبُرِ الْأَوَّلِينَ. And this Quran is mentioned in the previous scriptures as well, that this book will be sent down to the last prophet. أَوَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ آيَةً أَنْ يَعْلَمَهُ عُلَمَاءُ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. Is it not a sign for them that the scholars of the Israelis, Bani Israel, also know this Quran? Go and ask them. They will tell you it's true, it's Allah's words and it's revelation from Allah. Even if they might not believe due to jealousy or whatever reason, but they will accept and admit that Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Quran is the word of Allah. Just recently, there was some research in the United States of America that some professors studied the language of the Quran and studied the Ahadith Mubarakah, the words of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Their conclusion was that both authors are not same. 80% of the words used in the Quran are not in the Hadith, and 60% of the words used in the Hadith are not in the Quran. Quran is from another source.
coming from somewhere else. Word for word, preserved, protected in its purest original form from day one until today. 1441 years, nothing has been changed in the Quran. Everything is as it was revealed on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The professors research, they are saying, we are only saying that because many people today would believe more in these things. You will get many professors who will come with these research. Another professor, I think his name is Gary Wills. He has a video on YouTube. And he says, I have studied Quran and I have studied the previous scriptures. And I can say that Quran is the softest of all the divine scriptures. The language of Quran is the most softly spoken. Quran never uses harsh words. Quran never gives harsh commands. Whereas if you open the other books, there will be very, very harsh commands. Quran itself said, this prophet came and he removed all the hardships and the hard instructions which were on the people before, on Bani Israel. In the tafsir of this verse, it is mentioned how the instructions on Bani Israel were. They were instructed that if drops of urine got onto their clothes, they can't wash it, they have to cut it and patch it up. In fact, in some places it is written that even if the drops got into their skin on the thighs, they would have to take that skin off. It was written that if you commit a sin by night, then by morning it will be written on your door, this person did zina last night, this person did burglary last night, this person did this and this sin, murdered someone last night. It would be somewhere written, people could see, and that person would be ashamed. So, these types of hard instructions, even in Bible, you will find verses which will say, if the ladies disobey you, shave their heads. Quran will never say, shave the heads of the ladies if they disobey you. You will find these verses. Some young men went outside and put a covering of Quran, and they asked people, what do you say about these? And they read from the verses, and they say, oh, this is really harsh. It is in the Quran. But then they removed that cover, it was the Bible. And they said, no, we can't read this, it is the Bible, here it is in front of you. So, Quran, there are no harsh instructions in Quran. Maybe in the previous scriptures they were added on by some people who did tahrif in there, concocted those verses, or whatever the case. But Quran is Allah's kalam, is the book of Allah. Quran itself said, Tanzeelu Rabbil Alameen. In many places you will see, Allah nazzala ahsan al-hadith, kitaban mutashabihan masani, taqsha'irru minhu juludu alladhina yakhshawna rabbahum, thumma talinu juluduhum wa qulubuhum ila dhikrillah. Allah sent down the most beautiful of speeches. Quran is the most beautiful speech. Ahsan al-hadith, kitaban mutashabih. It is a book, the verses of which are consimilar. Similar. You get similar verses over here, another part, another place. Many verses are similar to one another. Masani. The verses are oft repeated. We read Surah Fatiha, most oft repeated chapter of the Quran. We read in every namaz, in every rakat, Surah Fatiha. So verses are repeated often. تَخْشَعِرُّ مِنْهُ جُلُودُ الَّذِينَ يَخْشَوْنَ رَبَّهُم. Those who have khashiyat and fear of their Rabb, their hair stand on the strands when listening to Him. Sometimes they are overcome by fear. They start crying, tears, tip, 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 dripping down, sobbing like a baby when they are reading the Quran or listening to the Quran. Hair is standing on the strand for fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes they scream, sometimes they fall and faint.
Some people even give their life. They listen to some verse and ayat, it affected so much that they just scream and their soul departed this dunya. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ama wallahi inni la'adamukum billah wa akhshakum lahu. He had the most khashiyah and fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why when he would be reciting Quran in tahajjud, in qiyamul layl, his chest would be making a noise like a boiling kettle. Put. He's crying out of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can't cry because the fear of Allah has deserted our hearts. We should be fearful. We have become fearless. You will see on the back of some sports car, no fear. No, my dear brothers, we should have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khashiyat, inabat ilallah, ruju ilallah, tawbah towards Allah, repentance to Allah, remembrance of Allah, turning to Allah is needed. This is Quran. تَخْشَعِرُّ مِنْهُ جُلُودُ الَّذِينَ يَخْشَوْنَ رَبَّهُمْ ثُمَّ تَلِينُ جُلُودُهُمْ وَقُلُوبُهُمْ إِلَىٰ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. In the beginning, they might be scared, their hair might stand on the strand, but as they keep on reading, their hearts soften, their skins soften before the zikr of Allah. ذَلِكَ هُدَى اللَّهِ. This feeling is also hidayat and guidance from Allah. يَهْدِي بِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. For this Quran is Allah's guidance. He guides with Quran whom He wills. وَمَن يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ هَادٍ. So, my dear brothers, elders, sisters, we have to understand, Quran is not an ordinary book like any other book on that shelf. Quran is a special book. Quran is the word of Allah. Quran is the book of Allah. Our young man, when he is going to complete his hifz, he is going to recite the opening verses of Surah Al-Baqarah as well. Alif Lam Mim, Zalikal Kitab, La Rayba Fihi, Hudan lil Muttaqin. Alif Lam Mim, this is the book. There is no doubt in it being the book of Allah. It has hidayat and guidance in it for those who have taqwa, who are aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, constantly aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. भाई थोड़ी देर में गाड़ी का क्या नाम है? कौन सी गाड़ी है?
10 गाड़ी सर लेडीज इंतजार करते हैं, मीटर में खड़ा है गाड़ी का।
वो तो नंबर प्लेट है। अच्छा भाई, उधर गाड़ी हटा के वापस आ जाओ।
मीटर में किसकी गाड़ी बोले सबको पता है किसकी गाड़ी मीटर
जो मिडिल में है वो निकाल। हदीस शरीफ में है ला ज़बर वला ज़िरार, तकलीफ मत दो, तकलीफ मत उठाओ, तो उस पर अमल करना चाहिए। वापस खड़ी करके आ जाओ, लेडीज निकल जाए फिर खड़ी करके वापस आ। दुआ में शामिल। जहीर भाई कह रहे हैं संडे है बाहर में बात करने को मुश्किल है, पार्किंग टिकट आएगी तो जहीर भाई भर देंगे। जी, so we are talking about what is Quran. Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we understand this, is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not like any other regular book we find on the shelf. Then we have to remember that Quran should be treated differently from other books. One of the main differences is that we don't read any other book if we don't understand it. Right? There is a book of chemistry, physics, medicine, biology, barrister, lawyer, solicitors' books. We don't understand them, we don't even touch them. Even though they are in English, we understand English, but we don't understand the book, we don't read it. But with Quran, even if we don't understand it, it is Quran's haqq and right upon every individual Muslim, male, female, young, old, that they must recite Quran. They must recite Quran. Al-Quran hujjatun laka aw alayka. Quran is an evidence for you or against you. If you read the Quran, if you understood Quran, practiced on the Quran, it will be an evidence for you. Otherwise, it will be an argument against you. that sometimes a person will be buried in the qabr. Azab of qabr appears in the grave. But his tilawat of Quran also comes from one side. And Quran says, Azab going from here. You can't punish this person. He used to recite me, he used to read me. I was in his heart and mind. He was attached to me. You can't touch him. So Azab will say, he might have recited you, but he didn't practice on you properly. He committed some sins, mistakes. Quran will say, but I was in his heart, so I'm not going to let you touch him. And Quran will turn the azab away from the qabr of that person. This is just for recitation, because he used to recite the Quran. And we know the famous hadith, من قرأ حرفا من كتاب الله تعالى فله به حسنة والحسنة بعشر أمثالها لا أقول ألف لام ميم حرف ولكن ألف حرف ولام حرف وميم حرف رواه الترمذي. Whoever recites one letter of the book of Allah will get 10 hasanat, and that hasanah will be multiplied 10 times. I am not saying that alif lam mim is one hasanah. Alif is one letter, lam is another letter, and mim is another letter. So for alif lam mim you get 30 hasanah. And imagine, my dear brothers, do we understand the meaning of alif lam mim? No. Alif lam mim sad, ha mim ayn sin qaf. Kaf, Aya, Ain, Swad, Hamim, Ain, Sin, Qaf, Yasin, Taha. These are abbreviations, abbreviated letters in the beginning of surahs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed them. Allah did not intend the public to understand what Allah is indicating in there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, let's read and move on. We are not told to investigate in there and find out the meaning of these, but still we recite them. What is the meaning of that? That Allah wants us to recite even if we don't understand. We don't understand the meaning of alif lam mim, but Allah wants us to recite. Same with the whole Quran. Allah wants us to do tilawat of it. And ajib, the more tilawat we do, the more barakah, blessing and nur we get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, Abu Bakr
Assalamualaikum. Brothers who have parked their car in the middle, please, can you move those cars? Jazakumullah khair. Park them outside, inshallah. It's Sunday today. You won't get a ticket. If you do get a ticket, inshallah, we'll talk about it. But please don't park. Those people who have parked their cars, that includes the ladies, please move them. Jazakumullah.
अभी announcement नहीं होना चाहिए. फिर हम भूल जाते हैं क्या बयान कर रहे हैं. हम हो जाते हैं. अच्छा भाई, बात पूरी करो, बहुत बात पूरी. कुरान शरीफ अल्लाह का कलाम है, is the word of Allah. Quran Sharif has many rights over us. The first haqq of Quran over us is that we recite the Quran. We do tilawah of the Quran. And the more we recite, the better for us. If we see our Salafi Salihin, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reciting Quran in Tahajjud, Sahabi Kiram reciting Quran in Qiyamul Layl, Tabi'een, Salafi Salihin, Hazrat Maulana Abdul Hayy Lakhrawi rahmatullahi alayhi has written a book titled Iqamatul Hujjah ala anna al-ikthar min al-ibadati laysa bi-bid'ah. He has narrated in there names of 30 tabi'een who used to pray Fajr Salah with the wudu of Isha, and this was their habit for 40 years. Imagine, whole night they would be reading Quran. For how many years? 40 years. We can't do that for one night. But they had so much love for Quran. They wanted to recite Quran, recite Quran, recite Quran. That's tilawat, 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 tilawat. This is where Sayyidina Uthman Ghani radiallahu anhu's qawl, his quote comes, wherein he said, لو أن قلوبنا طهرت ما شبعنا من كلام ربنا. If our hearts were cleansed and purified, we would never feel satiated from the kalam of our Rabb. We want to read more and more and more and more, provided our hearts are clean. But today, we don't have that cleanliness in the heart. We have the effects of sins, disobedience. We watch movies at night before going to sleep. We watch videos on WhatsApp, on mobiles before going to sleep. We don't get that desire to get up for tahajjud and read some Quran. Our forefathers, we go back, my grandfather, not too long ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago, he would get up in the morning and read Quran very loudly before Fajr. And our alarm clock was the tilawat of our grandfather. We would wake up by his tilawat and his recitation. He was not an alim, he was not a hafiz, he was just a normal farmer, kerut, kheti karne wala. But he had so much love for Quran. Many people, alhamdulillah, we are fortunate over here, we know how to recite Quran. Some people don't know how to recite Quran. Hazrat Maulana Bilal Sahib mentioned this story of this person. This Maulana Sahib, alim, was traveling, he passed by a village and he saw the janaza of someone and people were waiting. He said, what are you waiting for? He said, we don't have an alim who can pray the janaza and mass. So we were waiting if someone can come and pray and then we can bend. He said, okay, give me some water, wuzu. And he had janaza. And they buried the person. And then he thought to himself, yeah, these people don't know basic masail. He said to them, if you provide some lodging for a few days, I will postpone my trip, stay with you, teach you some deen, masail, masla, masail, important basics. They said, okay. So he stayed there. At night he saw a dream, beautiful mansion, palace, and the person whom they had buried was sitting there in the garden, paradise. He asked him, who are you? He said, I'm the same person you buried today. MashaAllah. Now, he wanted to inquire what was his action by which he was raised to such a high rank. So in the morning, he went to his house and he asked the family members, what was the practice of the deceased? And they said he was a simple person. He used to pray 5 times a day properly. Then he used to go for kheti badi in the farming. He was a very generous person. One of his habits was that he was an ummi, he couldn't read Quran, but it was his habit that every day after Fajr Salah, he would come, take Quran from the high shelf, he would open it, and then he would say, Mere Allah ne ye bhi sach kaha hai, Mere Allah ne ye bhi sach kaha hai, Mere Allah ne ye bhi sach kaha hai, Mere Allah ne ye bhi sach kaha hai. Whatever my Allah has said here is true, whatever my Allah has said here is true, whatever my Allah has said here is true, whatever my Allah has said here is true. I wish I was able to read Quran, I can't read it, this is most likely. So he would turn a few pages like this and then close it, kiss the Quran, put it on a high shelf. This was his daily habit. The Alim said, this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him that idea. This is the love for Quran. Love for Quran. We need to develop that love for Quran, attachment, bonding, connection with Quran. And when we have that love for Quran, they say, Muhabbat tujhko aadab muhabbat khud sikha de. Love will teach you the adab and the etiquettes and manners of love. You will respect. If you love someone, you will respect them. If you love the Quran, you will respect the Quran. Among our mashayikh, we have Hazrat Maulana Badri Alam Yurthi Rahmatullahi. He was a great alim. He wrote a nice book called Tarjuman Sunnah. Towards the end of his life, he resided in Medina Sharif. He migrated to Medina Sharif, and he died in Medina Sharif as well. In Medina Sharif, Jannatul Baqi, it is their practice that the qabr graves go round. They bury someone here, and after 6 months, they open it, and the bones are left. So they dig on one side, bury the bones there, and bury another person there. And then after 6 months, it comes back over here, and again they bury the bones on one side and bury someone else. So one grave is used multiple times. When they opened Hazrat Maulana Badri Alam Yurthi Rahmatullah's grave, his body was intact as though he was buried yesterday. They were amazed. They left it. After some time they opened it again, and again it was same. And after some time, third time, so what they did was, they put a sign on there that don't dig this grave from now on. The body in here is intact. The family were asked, what was his special habit? And they replied that Hazrat had great love for Quran, and he had great respect for Quran. He would never stretch his legs towards the Quran, let alone stretching legs towards the Quran, even in spite of his old age and weakness. If there was a Hafiz of Quran sitting, he would not stretch his legs towards the Hafiz of Quran. He would ask, are you Hafiz? Yes, I am Hafiz. He would not spread his legs towards the Hafiz. He would say, iske sine mein kalam baat hai. That Quran is in his heart. How can I stretch my legs towards the Hafiz of Quran? This is the adab, the muhabbat and the love of Quran which he had. So, Quran is a special book. It's a unique book. That is why we can't touch Quran without wuzu. Because it's a special book. Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ وَإِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ إِنَّهُ لَقُرْآنٌ كَرِيمٌ فِي كِتَابٍ مَكْنُونٍ لَا يَمَسُّهُ إِلَّا الْمُطَهَّرُونَ تَنزِيلٌ مِّن رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Allah said, إِنَّهُ لَقُرْآنٌ كَرِيمٌ. Look at this. Some places Allah calls it Quran Kareem. Other places Allah said Quran Majid. بَلْ هُوَ قُرْآنٌ مَجِيدٌ فِي لَوْحٍ مَحْفُوظٍ. This is why our Ustad Hazrat Maulana Bihar Sahib said that we should never just say Quran, Quran, Quran. Quran lao, Quran rakho, Quran udhar hatao, Quran yun karo. No, say Quran Sharif, Quran Kareem, Quran Majid. Out of love and respect for Kalam Pak. Allah is saying Quran Kareem. في كتاب مكنون لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. There are two tafsir of this ayah. Immi arba'a, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, rahmatullahi alayhi, say that la yamassuhu is referring to Quran Kareem. Innahu la Quran Kareem fi kitabin maknun la yamassuhu, yani la yamassu al-Quran illa al-mutahharun. Except those who have tahara. Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajhu's hadith is in Muwatta Imam Malik, wherein the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, La yamassu al-Qur'ana illa tahir. No one should touch the Quran except a person who is tahir, who has tahara. This is why we should teach our children as well from young age, that when you come to masjid at 5 o'clock for studying, make sure you do your istiya at home, you do wudu properly, you touch the Quran with wudu, not without wudu. If you respect the Quran will enter your heart very quickly. Hazrat Maulana Ashraf Ali Thanvi Rahmatullahi mentions that in our hometown there were two young boys of same ability, same age, same family. One boy became Hafiz in 1 year, the other became Hafiz in 2 years. We noted that why, when they both had the same ability, one of them became Hafiz very quickly, and it was noted that the one who became Hafiz quickly was extremely respectful towards the Quran. He would never touch the Quran without wuzu, he would never stretch his legs towards the Quran, he would sit properly, he would sit facing Qibla, and he would who put Quran on a high place and then he would learn. This is what helped him to memorize the Quran. So those youngsters who are becoming Hafiz, this is a good advice for you. That respect the Quran and read it with love, muhabbat, respect, and Quran will come in your heart very quickly. So, Quran should be loved, Quran should be respected, and we should become Hafiz of Quran, make our young children Hafiz of Quran. This is also a haqq of Quran. You know, becoming Hafiz, or rather let's say, producing a Hafiz is farz kifaya. If in a locality there is no Hafiz, then the whole community will be sinful. It's like namaz janazah. If some people pray, everybody's duty is fulfilled, but if nobody prays it, then everybody is sinful. Therefore, if we have some Hafiz in our society, we are absolved of our duty. Otherwise, we will all be held to account on the day of Qiyamah for not producing Huffaz. So this young man who's becoming Hafiz today, he's doing all of us a favor. He's fulfilling that farz kifaya for us. So we won't be held to account on the day of Qiyamah. Inshallah. Because I've been to places, some places in USA, where there are no Hafiz. When Ramzan comes and it's Taraweeh time, you know how they pray Taraweeh? Sometimes they hold the Quran in their hands and read from there. According to Imam Abu Hanifa, that's not allowed. Many ulama, because this amal kasir in there. You're holding it, you're turning pages, you're putting it under your armpit, you're putting it on the floor when you go in sajda. This is all amal kasir. Imam Abu Hanifa said it's not allowed to hold the Quran in namaz. And in some places, they have a projector. And the Imam has that weatherman's pen in his hand and he turns the pages with that pen and reads from there. Why? Because there is no Hafiz. Now, Quran was revealed where? On the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tawrat, Zabur, Injil were revealed where? In the hands of the prophets. They were given to Musa alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, Dawood alayhi salam. This is the book. Read it, practice it. But Quran was not given in hand. It was delivered and it was revealed on the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam through a period of 23 years. Because Allah wanted to protect the Quran through heart. Quran was transmitted sina by sina, from heart to heart. This pen and paper book is only for help, support. But otherwise, this is not how Quran was transmitted. Quran is transmitted heart to heart. Sahaba learned it direct from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tabi'in from Sahaba. Tabi'in from Tabi'in. And the chain goes down. We learn Quran from our teachers. They are from there. And we will pass it on to our children. And they will pass it on to theirs. So Quran is transmitted heart to heart. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent it down on the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, we need to produce farz kiram. This is a farz kifaya. MashaAllah, this young man is completing his hymns. I will now conclude by some virtues of becoming Hafiz. You all know that hadith wherein our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Man qara'a al-Quran wa 'amila bima fihi ulbisa walidahu tajan yawm al-qiyamah ضوء أحسن من ضوء الشمس لو كانت في بيوتكم فما ظنكم بالذي عمل بهذا. Whosoever reads the Quran, meaning learns it, memorizes it, and then وَعَمِلَ بِمَا فِيهِ, practices on the Quran. Hafiz, you have to practice on the Quran. Your duty is more now. You should be distinguished. You should stand out among your friends. You should be a different person. You should be practicing on the Quran. وَعَمِلَ بِمَا فِيهِ أُلْبِسَ وَالِدَاهُ تَاجًا. The parents will be given a special crown on the day of Qiyamah. The noor and the light of which will be more than the light of the sun if it was to come down in your homes. This is how nurani that crown will be. It will not be given in front of a crowd like over here in the Southampton Masjid Abu Bakr. It will be in front of the whole humanity. In Maidan Hashar, Allah will be there, and Allah's Anbiya will be there, Awliya Izam will be there, and the parents will be called there, and they will be really chuffed that we are being honored in this manner. Now if this honor is for the parents, imagine what will be given to the Hafiz. In another hadith, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Man qara'a al-Qur'an fastadhharahu fa'ahalla halalahu wa harrama haramahu adkhalahu Allahu al-jannah wa shaffa'ahu fi 'asharatin min ahli baytihi kulluhum qad wajabat lahu an-nar." Whosoever reads the Quran and memorizes it, and then he takes the halal of Quran as halal and haram of Quran as haram. Again, practice. Allah will admit him into Jannah, and Allah will accept his shafa'at and intercession for 10 of his family members who will be destined for the fire of Jannah. They will be standing in the row of Jahannam, some of his relatives. He will be given 10 passports. Go. This is the passport ticket to Jannah. Save whoever you want. He will go say Khala, Pupi, Mamu, Chacha, Auntie, Uncle, Tala. He will save them. Why? Because they used to encourage him to become Hafiz. They used to help him. They used to give him 10 pounds when he used to finish a sibara. Beta, every time you finish one sibara, you have to come to me and give you 10 pounds. 5 pounds, 10 pounds. Gift. So he gets more encouragement. Kids, you don't need encouragement. They will finish the bara quickly. So I can go to uncle, auntie, and khala, and dada, and daddy, nana, nani, and I can get my gift from them. So because they used to encourage him, so he will take them with him to Jannah. And another riwayat says, Al-Mahiru bil-Quran ma'a-safarati al-kiram al-baraka. وَالَّذِي يَقْرَأُ الْقُرْآنَ وَيَتَتَعْفَعُ فِيهِ وَهُوَ عَلَيْهِ شَاقٌ لَهُ أَجْرَانِ. The one who is an expert of the Quran will be standing on the day of Qiyamah along with those angels who are Safir, Kareem and Bar, who are the envoys, noble and dutiful. Who are these angels? They are mentioned in Surah Abasa wa Tawalla. Allah said, "Kalla innaha tadhkirah, faman sha'a dhakara fi suhufin mukarramah marfu'atin mutahharah bi aydi safarah kiramin bararah." Lawh Mahfuz is protected by those angels. They are looking after Lawh Mahfuz. Because they used to look after Lawh Mahfuz high above the 7 heavens. And the Hafiz used to look after Quran over here on the earth. The Hafiz will be given the privilege to stand with those angels on the day of Qiyamah. What an honor. That the Hafiz, a human being, he might have erred, he might have made mistakes, sin. Allah will forgive, overlook. Allah will say to the Hafiz, you stand with those angels. So there are great values, virtues of him. And finally, what we read in the Nazm, Parda ja chadha. Yuqalu liqari al-Quran, iqra warattil, iqra wartaqi, warattil kama kunta turattilu fi dunya, fa inna manzilataka inda akhiri ayatin taqra'u. Hafiz will be told, read and rise, read and rise, read and rise. Your place and your station, abode, destination is where you complete your recitation. So his ranks will be raised in Jannah, inshallah. So these are virtues of becoming Hafiz, producing Huffaz. MashaAllah, the community of Southampton are very fortunate to have Imams like Ali Shaukat Saab, Maulana Asjad Saab, Maulana Junaid Saab, they are working hard upon your young ones, trying to produce beautiful Hufaz who can lead you in Taraweeh as well, and who can fulfill this duty of Farz Kifaya on your behalf as well. May Allah accept their efforts. May Allah keep this madrasa functioning and running until the day of Qiyamah. May Allah fulfill the needs of the madrasa. May Allah reward all the teachers, asatidha over here, ladies listening as well. You know, you have a lot of share and input behind these hufaz as well. Because without a mother's total focus and attention, the child cannot become hafiz. Their support is needed as well. In many places, the mothers come to drop the child to the madrasa and collect them to deny. And in many places, the mothers help the child in learning. I was in USA, Florida with Maulana Rashid Saab, and they have a Hibs class there, and Maulana Rashid Saab was telling me that there is this lady who wants her child to become Hafiz. She drives 45 minutes to an hour to get to our institute, and she spends the whole day over here, and then she takes the child back in the evening at 5 o'clock, because his program is from 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock. So she stays there throughout the day. So they had to give her some place. She would go shopping, come back, relax. She would read her own Quran, she would do her own ma'ulat. But she wanted her son to become Hafiz, and she was making such a huge sacrifice. I was in one place, Khatm al-Quran, down up north in Bolton, and the Hifz Khatam was done by a young man. He completed his Hifz in just 12 months, and that was all because of his mother. His mother used to wake him up 6 o'clock in the morning and put him to sleep 8 o'clock. He was only 11, 12 years old. And she would sit down with him. It was as though she was becoming Hafiz. She would work so hard on the child. And the child was well behaved as well, receptive. He used to listen to his mother and behave properly. In 12 months, he did the whole Quran. So, the mothers have a great input in producing Hufaz al-Quran. Keep it up, and inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept. If our children are Hafiz, Alim, Deendar, they will be a source of najat and salvation for us on the day of Qiyamah. We will finish by the dua which is taught to us in Surah Al-Furqan. رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. O Allah, bless us from our wives and our children coolness of eyes for us, and make us imam for the muttaqeen. May Allah make our children coolness of eyes for us, that when we look at them we feel happy, our eyes are cool, we feel happy, and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has given me such a nice son, such a nice daughter. I thank you for that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah accept, may Allah be pleased with us. Jazakumullah wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Sallallahu wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.
Brothers and sisters, as I mentioned, these students, alhamdulillah, ranging from age 8 to 11 onwards, they have memorized the 30th juz, the 29th juz, Surah Baqarah, Surah Al-Imran. So alhamdulillah, they're going to recite the final verses of Baqarah and the final verses of Surah Al-Imran. Just keeping in mind that have patience with them. For some of them, or if not most of them, they're reading in front of a large congregation for the very first time. They're very nervous. They actually requested that they don't read and they just come and show their faces and continue on their way. But just to give them encouragement and support, you know who they are. You can give them congratulations and good words of encouragement and support. So inshallah we will get them to read the final verses inshallah. We will start with Brother Muhammad Diallo. He will start with Ayatul Kursi, being one of the most important, powerful verses of the Quran. Then we will continue with the final verses of Baqarah, and and then the final verse of Al Imran. And finally, our Hafiz Rahman will recite the final verses of the 30th juz and the opening verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, inshallah. Also, please bear in mind, many of our sisters and aunties, who are actually the mothers and sisters and relations of these children that are going to recite the Quran, want to hear their family members, their children, their nephews, nieces, nephews recite the Quran. So please, we again humbly request the sisters upstairs remain quiet, give the family members the chance to listen to their loved ones recite the Quran. It will become a great means and source of mercy and blessing for each and every one of us. Whether we are related or not related, at least give them the chance to be able to listen to their loved ones, inshallah. So please do remain quiet upstairs. This is just going to take only around 10 minutes or so, and then we will provide the children with their achievement and rewards, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
This is Brother Furqan al-Deep.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه وليكتب بينكم كاتب بالعدل ولا يأب كاتب أن يكتب كما علمه الله فليكتب وليملل الذي عليه الحق وليتق الله ربه ولا يبخس منه شيئا فإن كان الذي عليه الحق سفيها أو ضعيفا أو لا يستطيع أن يمل فليملل وليه بالعدل واستشهدوا شهيدين من رجالكم فإن لم يكونا رجلين فرجل وامرأتان ممن ترضون من الشهداء أن تضل إحداهما فتذكر إحداهما الأخرى صدق الله العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا يأب الشهداء إذا ما دعوا ولا تسأموا أن تكتبوه صغيرا أو كبيرا إلى أجله ذلكم أقسط عند الله وأقوام للشهادة وأدنى ألا ترتابوا إلا أن تكون تجارة حاضرة تديرونها بينكم فليس عليكم جناح ألا تكتبوها وأشهدوا إذا تبايعتم ولا يضار كاتب ولا شهيد.
ذكرنا أسد بن حمزة كان إن شاء الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإن تفعلوا فإنه فسوق بكم واتقوا الله ويعلمكم شيء عليم. وإن كنتم على سفر ولم تجدوا كاتبا فرهان مقبوضة، فإن أمن بعضكم بعضا فليؤدي الذي اؤتمن أمانته وليتق الله ربه ولا تكتموا الشهادة، ومن يكتمها فإنه آثم قلبه والله بما تعملون عليم. صدق الله العظيم.
Observe Khan. This is Taimur Khan.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض، وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم أو تخفوه يحاسبكم به الله فيغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير.
Taimur Khan. This is his younger brother, Parental Khan.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على قوم الكافرين.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. Parental Khan. This is Hassan Ali, who is the brother of Umar Rahman.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. متاع قليل ثم مأواهم جهنم وبئس المهاد. لكن الذين اتقوا ربهم لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها نزلا من عند الله وما عند الله خير للأبرار. وإن من أهل الكتاب لمن يؤمن بالله وما أنزل إليهم خاشعين لله لا يشترون بآيات الله ثمنا قليلا أولئك لهم أجرهم عند ربهم إن الله سريع الحساب. يا أيها الذين
side here? Do we need the fans or the windows open? If it's getting hot, we just open the windows on this side. Inshallah, as everybody knows, Rahman, let us in the Tarawih prayer this year. Inshallah, you will be the final parts of the 30th verse and the opening verses of Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Baqarah, sorry, and then we will conclude with the dua of Shaykh Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. صدق الله العظيم.
Wait.